Welcome back. Final segment of the Threshing Floor. We're talking with the Chronicle Project. We have Chris and Michelle with us for this program. There's actually a team of 8 people working on this project in different capacities. 8 people? Is that correct?
I guess I've never counted.
I counted 8.
You can see you discovered something.
There's 8 people.
I'd like, okay, let me quickly, before you go through, I'd like to add a couple of people in.
Sure.
That have been
very helpful, and you probably don't even know about it. We wanted to mention George Ure over at www.urbansurvival.com,
Yes.
because George really mentored us at the beginning of all of this, because I sent him a letter. I never expected him to even react, but I sent him a letter saying, do you see what we've got? And he just about came unglued. And his is a financial website, and everything financial, but I mean from one end of the spectrum to UFOs kind of thing. But he actually did stories on us and interviews and really started to put us out there. And so we just wanted to thank him for that, and just mention how much work he's put in. And we'd also like to thank whoever put us on CNN. Thank you very much. 42,000 people saw that story. And man, the website's just been going crazy since then.
Utah,
yeah. Utah, we're going to get to Utah.
Yes.
Yeah, you wanted to mention.
Yeah, maybe at this point, let's just give us a quick roll call on the people that comprise the team and a little bit about what you all do. Michelle.
Well, I'm Michelle, and I know we covered this last time. I swear I have the ideas from left field. We'll sit around and talk about everything, and when they're absolutely stumped, yeah, half the time the problem is I jump 3 steps ahead.
Oh.
I jump so far in advance because I don't know if it's my tendency to not only want to hear what you're saying, but I want to interpret it and then go to the next step of what we should be doing. And that's what I do in my life, and that's how I view the Hebrew a lot of times. Right. So when everyone else is stumped, it's let's throw it to Michelle and see what she can work up.
We don't do it normally because this is how I develop this face.
He gets a headache otherwise.
Okay, that's my Michelle face.
He'll usually tell me that's 3 steps ahead. You're on the right track. You saw it.
Jumped 3,
but not only did you get the concept, now you're 3 words ahead of yourself.
So Bell here is the lady who figured out that every glyph was a word/concept, because I never would have gone there.
It was interesting. I'd been thinking about it for a few days, and it just kept coming back to me. And the funny thing is, we'd already just hit the point where we finished all the 2-word glyph sets. Mm-hmm. Chris had just sat down, and we were going through and, eradicating any imperfections. We were going through and working down to the best possible term. And Chris said his famous words, "I'm almost comfortable. I think we're done." And it came to me that we have all these directionals. I'm like, what about the fact that if that one word tacked onto 2 words creates a direction, why couldn't 2 words together each be their own direction? Because one word can be a prefix.
Yeah.
Why can't it be its own word? And if one word is a prefix or can be its own word, why can't you put 2 of these of their own words together? How about the entire language being a single word, single glyph?
Yeah.
And as to my previous description of the fact that my ideas are always left field,
I poo-pooed it.
It was poo-pooed
for all of 4 hours until I completed it, and then I apologize a lot.
The next morning was quite fascinating.
I've learned not to say I'm comfortable with this anymore. Mm-hmm. I'm not comfortable with this. That means that it's accurate now.
Yeah.
So that...
Okay, who else? Who else is in there?
We have Jen, Dave, Danielle, of course, Christopher, Kimberly, and as we were saying before, we have Utah and Dale, all the wonderful people out there.
They're working on the computer programs that you can see the computer. Yes. No, you can hear about the computer program at the website.
Yes.
10 words or less. Utah created a computer program. This is more than 10 words. Utah created a computer program whereby we can enter a word into, once we've translated it, put it where it appears in that, and then it will put that word every single time it appears everywhere in the Old Testament. And I'd like to point out that has been invaluable, because Strong's has this nasty tendency. You get a 6-letter word and a 6-letter word, and they'll say, those aren't 6-letter words. It's another 3-letter word, this one over here, that has nothing to do with these, but this is what it is here. I should send you that graphic so you can pop it up on the screen for people so they can see 2 of the same words, and they'll tell you it's a completely different word. Now, the problem with that is then if I want to research where the 6-letter word is somewhere else in the Bible, not going to happen, because it'll only tell me where the 3-letter words are. I'll never be able to find it. But with Utah's program, when I plop that in, it says it exists 3 more times. Here's where it is. I went, I looked at the context, I was able to translate the word. Thank you for the endless amount of hours that you have put in on this. Oh, can't even mention it. Have we got everybody?
Yes, we do. I was just going to also mention, it's been fascinating because they have very much filled in something that is not our expertise, and we all seem to match together to form a team that balances each other off. Where one of us has a strength, they supply that strength. Where another has a weakness, someone else supplies in that area as well, and it's been wonderful. I mean, to a large degree, just to give you an overview of us, we'd sit around the table, all of us together, and we'd literally hash out this information together. We'd all have our books out, researching. So I can't even give you an overview.
I just like to show you my research look.
Yes.
There we go. Oh.
I can't even say this person was doing this job, that another, because we all really sat around sharing the books around the table and ideas, and it was very much a back and forth, and what are you hearing on this subject?
And the inspiration was amazing, because I remember one day where I couldn't get the N sound, and it was driving me crazy, and I couldn't get it. Dave walks in downstairs, and no joke, I hear, ask Dave. And I say, Dave, come up. Now, Dave's a mechanic. He operates heavy machinery, okay? He's not super Hebrew dude. And I said, Dave, come on up. And I said, look, this is what we've got. I said, the concept's just not right. I don't know what it is. What do you think? He said, try the word to follow. And I was like, of course. And I typed it in. Bingo. That's the one that worked. He says, that all? I said, yeah. And then he goes, that's the kind of stuff. Weird.
He's very strong, silent type.
You all kind of formed this project out of a community, not a cult, not a commune, but a community of faith.
We see each other like other than study time, we see each other on Friday nights. We have Sabbath together. I wish it was a cult, then I'd have money.
You know, we literally all came together in the need to find truth. I mean, yes, there's the backdrop of such and such was a friend. Jen worked actually for Danielle. That's how they met each other. Yes. You know, and
Danielle used to own Danielle used to own some companies in Saskatoon, and Jen was hired to work at one of the companies. That's how we met her. Sorry.
And for myself personally, I have family in this area for well past 100 years, 150 years. So this is my home area. So someone moved in. I had to.
Yeah, we bumped into her through the people down the street. And one night when I was doing carpentry work in their house, she came over to visit, and I got talking with her, and I said, hey, how'd you like to spend 4 years of your life making your eyeballs bleed? No, I'm kidding. That's not what happened.
I guess to wrap all this up, I want to ask Michelle, on a personal level, what impact has this all had on you?
You know, that's a tough question. I would say it's had a lot of impact, but through my entire life, there's always been a searching and a feeling that things weren't quite right. Even from a very young age, 12, 13, I'd go to church and I'd talk to the pastors, and I was told that my ideas were wrong. That what I read was, no, that's not correct. And I was given familiar dogma, whereas I'd give them the verses, but that wasn't good enough because that's not what their church believed, and they had some quick report as to why a little 12-year-old girl couldn't possibly be right. So there was always a sense that it was wrong, and I think there was always an anger in that direction that, yes, I love my God, and my God is not everyone else's viewpoint of him. So in a lot of ways, this has been enlightening. Yeah. Because
what I knew, your God was the God that was there.
Turns out my God was always there. In a sense, he has never changed to me. if anything, what we've continued to find has only proved that what I knew all along was very much true.
Isn't that the truth?
And to me, that's been absolutely wonderful. The pain has come in on the stuff that I allowed myself to believe, that over the years, after a while, you buy into some things. You know, you buy into some of that, okay, that must be true. The pain is when what I did end up accepting, some of it that I accepted as truth, realizing it was wrong all the time, and the anger at yourself for not hearing, and then having to strip that away again.
Yeah.
And that seems to be a common thread among the people that I encounter as well. There's a pain in all of this, there's a joy in it, because I think all of us are on a discovery path. I think that's what ties us together across continents, across nations, across differences in faiths. Jews, Gentiles, people who have come through all different streams of faith. But the thread that I find with most people that I'm connected with now is they want the truth. They want the lies to stop, because we're running out of time and we need to learn this.
We get a lot of letters like that in the last week. Masses of letters, some really nasty ones, and yet some that they're just fantastic. The bulk of what comes through are people saying thank you, finally. And I'll tell you right now, thank you guys for the letters. That's what keeps us going. If it wasn't for the letters, some days we sit here and go, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Because it is so frustrating. It is so angering to see how badly it's been distorted. And I can't even tell you the emotion we feel. It really...
You don't have to, because I experience it also, and I know what it feels like.
What we've talked about.
Where people reach out and go to the trouble to tell you thanks for the work. Because it's discouraging, it's difficult, it's heartbreaking, and at the same time there's a joy in it. And I sense that coming from you and from the people that we've all connected with over the last few months. I think we're on an interesting journey right now.
We are, and I've often found, and this is my personal, that we are more connected, I think, than we'd ever realize. And our spirits hear more than our brains allow them to. We shut down something that is inside of us telling us the truth constantly.
And we should be listening to that. Before we go, because I know it's drawing to a close, because we have got letters like this, I want everybody to know we are Jewish people, okay? Because we've got letters where people go, you're just Christians pretending to be Jewish people. So I want everybody to know.
People do that all the time.
It's crazy. Because we mentioned Jesus, for example, or the word church, everybody, there's no synagogue here, okay? There's no other place to ask. We want everybody to know we do Sabbath and everything like that, but we also have incorporated the teachings of Jesus, because they basically, Jesus' teachings run along the teachings of Hallel. And so it's not unusual for us to read them. I wanted everybody to know that. So please stop sending letters saying you guys really aren't. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam borei pri hagofen. Okay, they're wine blessing, so you know. Okay.
Hey, thank you guys for coming on. Thank you to all the team out there. Thanks to you, the listener, who can listen to this and go to the website, thechronicleproject.org, look at this information, and, take it to God. Take it into your spirit and understand that God's trying to open up new understanding. Time's short. You need this information. We're trying to get it out.
I'm slipping in real quick. If you don't believe in God, I don't care. Write us a letter. Ask us questions. We will answer every letter you send us. Guaranteed, promise you, okay?
Cool. That's going to wrap it up this time. I'm Randy Maugans. This is The Threshing Floor, and this has been The Chronicle Project. We'll be back again with another show soon. The truth is out there. It's in you.